What's up, y'all? This is your boy Eddie Jackson. We're back with the Drop That Podcast. But before we get started with Boxing Talk, we're gonna give shout out to our sponsor. It's Layback TV. Okay, it's over 10,000 channels, movies on demand, every sports channel. Only $25 a month. Every HBO, every Cinemax, bigger than Spectrum, bigger than Xfinity. They can go fuck themselves. Every language, multiple languages, very simplified. Did I mention it's only $25 a month? That's a hell of a lot less than what you're paying for them streaming services. Just letting y'all know, it's compatible with your Androids, your iPhones, and your Fire Sticks, okay? Check them out on layback.tv.com, okay? LAYBACKTV.com if you can't fucking spell. Now back to Boxing Talk. Whoa! Boxing Talk, people. Now, we got something going on tomorrow at the BMO Stadium, okay? BMO Stadium. If y'all don't remember it, it was called the Bank of California Stadium over there in LA, California, Los Angeles to be exact. It's a big stadium. Everybody's been there. It was getting popping during the pandemic, but now it's Riyadh season, doing a boxing event in LA, okay? And it's headlined by Terrence Crawford and Madrimov, okay? For the WBA 154-pound title, okay? That's Crawford, number one pound for pound, former undisputed welterweight champion, and we haven't seen him since his victory over Earl Spence last year. It was a long-awaited fight for over, I want to say it was 3-4 years in the making. But now, he moves up to 154. He's main eventing this card, and it's going to be pretty much interesting on how this is going to be capitalized, because Riyadh season has always done fights in Saudi Arabia. This is their first event in America, let alone Los Angeles, and they're going to go out with a bomb. Riyadh season is partnering with everybody right now. They're partnering with boxing with this event. They're partnering with the UFC over there to do an event with the Spear in September, and what is the other things? Oh, they partnered with Golden Boy Promotions. They're partnering with Matchroom. They're partnering with Queensberry. They're doing a lot of partnering right now. They're actually putting sports on the map, higher level. Everybody getting the pay that they deserve. This is actually good. And it's a big platform, because you can watch this on ESPN pay-per-view, DAZN pay-per-view, and if I'm not mistaken, I think you can watch it on Amazon pay-per-view as well. That's 3 platforms. Usually people do it on 1 or 2. This is 3 actually, and this is gonna get crazy. But this segment is called Who You Got. So we'll go from the top 3 fights of this card, and we'll select who we got. I'm only gonna give my opinion based on the last performances that they did. And that's all. If you bet against me, if you bet with me, hey, that's on your own fucking risk, all right? Stop gambling. So we're going to do, what's the first fight? We're going to do Pitbull Cruz defending the WBA 140-pound title against Jose Venezuela. If I'm being honest, I don't know much about Jose Venezuela, but I do know Pitbull Cruz, okay? He's the one person to give, I want to say problems, but gonna give a tougher fight to Gervonta Tank Davis. His last fight, he actually won the WBA title against Rolly Romero. Finished him. Interesting. Not the only guy to finish Rolly, but finished him domination. And a lot of people say, who should Pitbull fight after this? Some people are bringing up 135 pounders or 140 pounders. For the segment of who you got, I got Pitbull Cruz. Okay, Pitbull Cruz. I think he's gonna. I wouldn't be surprised if he steals the show, or if he's the second in stealing the show. He wins, I would definitely say he should go after Teofimo Lopez. I'm sorry about that. Teofimo Lopez, the WBO 140-pound champion. Pitbull Cruz versus Teofimo Lopez. I feel like that'll be the fight people want, and I think that personally, the way these two fight, I wouldn't be surprised if that doesn't go the distance. So I got Pitbull Cruz for the win. And the return of Mexico's own Andy Ruiz, former heavyweight champion of the world, taking on Big Baby Miller. Now, if y'all don't know who Big Baby Miller, he was, okay, a long time ago, Andy Ruiz fought Anthony Joshua twice. But the first fight, he fought him for the heavyweight title. He was an actual guy who took the fight. Anthony Joshua was left without an opponent for a certain event. I believe it was in Madison Square Garden in New York. If it wasn't, it probably wasn't over there in the UK. But Anthony Joshua, can't fucking talk. Jesus Christ. Anthony Joshua had a fight that had no opponent. Andy Ruiz stepped in and he beat Anthony Joshua for the heavyweight crown, right? The original opponent for Anthony Joshua was Big Baby Miller. So Andy Ruiz is guilty of capitalizing on that opportunity that Big Baby Miller missed out on. Why did Big Baby Miller lose that opportunity? Because he got popped on his drug test. He got popped. Steroids out the wazoo. They said it was the most steroids they ever seen in a fighter. It was kind of interesting. How is Big Baby Miller gonna fight now without the juice? And I ain't talking about orange juice. It's yet to be determined. But I've always been fond of Andy Ruiz and his fighting tactics. So I got Andy Ruiz finishing Big Baby Miller. I will be more specific. I would say he finishes him in under 8 rounds. I don't think anybody can withstand the cardio that Andy Ruiz possesses. So I got Andy Ruiz taking the win on this one, and probably 1 or 2 more fights before he fights for a world title. And the main event, Terrence Crawford, Madrimov for the WBA 154-pound title. They're both undefeated. Madrimov is actually 10-0, while I believe Crawford is nearly 40-0, if I'm not mistaken. He has a lot of fights, still undefeated. But I'm going to go with the experienced fighter. It gets me a little worried that I see Terrence Crawford actually, like, this is the most I've ever seen him. I know they did the commercial to promote the fight, but this is the most I've ever seen him, doing a lot of press and build up to this fight. And I'm not talking about press, as far as like a press conference or anything like that. I'm looking at the fact that we've seen him on WWE SmackDown twice. We've actually seen him doing TikToks. Like you can see him on TikTok knocking out King Batch, which is interesting, But But it shouldn't be too worried because, Terrence is chasing greatness. If he wins this fight, His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh is going to try to get him the Canelo fight. Probably for the end of the year or the beginning of next year. Terrence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez is probably a interesting fight. This is for pound greatness, legacy. But Crawford got to go in there and shine. Personally, if he finishes him, it's undeniable that he can get the fight with Canelo. But His Excellencies did say that if he can't get him the Canelo fight because the financial requests by Canelo will be pretty much, a joke, then he said that, hey, I'm going to get him a bigger fight then. It's going to be interesting. But I got Terrence Crawford for the win. So those are my picks. I got Terrence Crawford as the new champion at 154. Andy Ruiz by knockout under 8 rounds. And I got Pitbull Cruz retaining the WBA 140-pound title. We're going to get out of here. This is Boxing Talk, all right? I'm your boy, Eddie Jackson. So Drop That Podcast. Y'all subscribe on youtube.com/@DropThatPodcast. Subscribe, like the page, comment. I dare you. You can't debate me. If you could, I'll give you $5 because that's all your debate is going to be worth, all right? Peace. Y'all be safe.